Today we are in Johannesburg, the city of gold, where everything is just bigger and taller and faster, and where dreams are made and realized and shattered, and fortunes are won and lost in the blink of an eye. And I can't wait to show you this magnificent city. With me today I have Charlie. Charlie, if you could come here for a moment, please. He is my wonderful guide that's going to be showing me around the city. You might wonder why we are not standing in Sandton, where all the gleaming glass towers and all the new developments are. It's because the Joburg CBD is where all the history is, and all the amazing regeneration is happening, and there are so many interesting people and interesting things happening. But first, I want to apologize that I'm not standing on a mine dump, which is where you would logically start a tour of Johannesburg, because this city was built on gold mining. Unfortunately, the mine dumps have been reclaimed by the mining companies because new technology has enabled them to repurpose those mine dumps and extract more gold from the sand. We can still see a couple of mine dumps from here, and I'm going to show you the original and first mine that started it all here in Joburg. We are now looking towards the south of Johannesburg, where all the mines and mine dumps are. And here, this big building is Standard Bank, and it's built on top of the very first mine shaft, and the mine shaft that started it all. We will be going down there later, but I can show you from here some of the historic mine dumps. We're going to zoom in. You see the kind of white, yellowish sand dumps in the distance. Those are all mine dumps. Basically, Johannesburg was built on mine dumps and mine shafts. And as I say, they have shrunk now in the last couple of years as they have been repurposed. Stick with us if you want to see the real Johannesburg.
This is the original mining shaft of Ferreira's mine. This is the first mine in Johannesburg, by the way.
Damn.
This is the mine that changed it all. And don't forget that this was this area known as Ferreira's town was the Malay quarter. This is when all these migrants started coming in here. In the Malay area, and the Malay people being Muslim and being very religious, all these English people bringing their bad habits in the Malay area. The Malay were not that happy. They rebelled. They said, we can't stay with these people. We need to be moved. Paul Kruger moved them to Vredendorp, Peace Town.
Yeah.
And we all started
to keep the peace.
This mine.
Yeah.
Okay. What I want to show you quickly, I want you to look closely and tell me what you see. Stand right there. Stand from this side and tell me what you see on this rock. Do you see? Look closely.
Oh my goodness. There was so much gold.
There was so much gold. This is the kind of rock that people will see all the this area is gold.
That is so crazy. Wow.
Gold was discovered here, and this was Ferreira's mine. Unfortunately for Ferreira, in true Joburg style, he found gold and he started mining here, but he was not a very good businessman, and he invited his friend to invest in the mine. But his friend was very clever. He stole the mine from Ferreira. So no one knows what happened to Ferreira, but he died poor. He left Johannesburg and never came back. Okay. And what you'll realize is, as you look at the photographs, you'll see there is quite a lot of Zulu mine workers here, black people that were mining here in this town. They left Johannesburg when the Anglo-Boer War broke out, which they were replaced by the Chinese. Here is a manual mining step. Mine battery, where the mine workers, mostly the Zulu mine workers who were in Johannesburg, working in the mines underground, used to manually crush rocks with this thing, which is like, I'm quite sure it's about 25, 30 kgs.
Insane. And that's
I don't know how many hours they worked.
All day long, probably. To make money for the white man.
I didn't say it.
Johannesburg, the African Eldorado. She has always been a cruel mistress. Considering she supplied at least 40% of the world's gold for about 100 years between 1886 and 1986, her fortunes were always directly tied to a steady supply of migrant labor from all over the world, the booms and busts of the South African economy, and the politics of the day. It is important to address two common misconceptions. Firstly, Johannesburg is not the capital of South Africa. That title is shared between Cape Town, Pretoria, and Bloemfontein. Since the executive is based in Pretoria, and that is also where all the embassies are located, we generally regard Pretoria as the real capital. Johannesburg, however, is definitely the commercial capital, the capital of money in South Africa, and it is also the largest city. The second misconception is that the old Joburg CBD was destroyed by the advent of democracy in the early 1990s. It is indeed decisions made by the old apartheid government that dealt it one devastating blow after another. The first blows started coming in the 1950s when black neighborhoods such as Sophia Town were destroyed to make way for white neighborhoods, and when government forced business to move light industry and manufacturing out of the CBD to the fringes of the city to form a barrier between the city and the townships. This prevented thousands of people from entering and working in the city. The final and most severe blow came about when the old president P.W. Botha made his Rubicon speech on the evening of 15 August 1985 in Durban. The world was anticipating Botha to announce major reforms in his government, including abolishing the apartheid system and the release of Mandela. Botha clearly stated that he was not willing to change his position regarding the apartheid system and that Mandela would not be released from prison. The next day, most major international companies just packed up and left. The ripple effect was severe. Thousands more skilled workers which populated the city and CBD started leaving the country in their droves. Landlords were forced to let their spaces for drastically lower prices, causing the remaining residents in a large-scale white flight to the northern suburbs. Today, the CBD is thriving again, but it is still subjected to the forces of political mismanagement. The function of the CBD is shifting to residential, and Johannesburg has been going through a process of normalization from an apartheid fantasy to an African migrant city. You will see most of the brutalist skyscrapers built during the height of the apartheid years are standing empty, waiting for a new purpose. A particular favorite of mine is the Carlton Center. It is the tallest building on your screen right now, and it was the tallest building in Africa from when it was built in the early 1970s all the way through to 2019 when it was surpassed by the Leonardo Tower in Sandton itself. We will be taking a closer look at this brutalist old dame. Coming up on your left, you will see members of the African Zionist Church having their Sunday congregation, the largest church in Africa, rather South Africa. And now, everybody, let's get ready for a night out in town in Johannesburg CBD. Yeah, it's party time! Woohoo!
I'm with the vibe anywhere with my G. I be the alpha, omega, the Z. When I dress up, I just think I can sin. Cover my diet.